Chosen one, there's something you need to know about that photograph. The one you don't even remember being taken. Right now, as you're watching this, it's sitting on a table made of materials that don't exist in your dimension, being examined by beings whose true forms would shatter your sanity. But here's what they don't understand yet. They think they're holding your weakness. They have no idea they're actually holding the blueprint to their own destruction. The photograph shows you in what they call an unguarded moment. Your eyes in that image, there's something in them that makes ancient beings pause. Something that whispers of storms survived and fires that refuse to die. They see scars not on your skin, but deeper, soul deep, battle deep. The kind that can only be earned through a very specific type of warfare. But what they're about to discover will change everything, because you, chosen one, are not what they think you are. You're not a target to be eliminated or a threat to be neutralized. You're something far more dangerous than they've ever encountered. You're chaos with a conscience, destruction with a purpose, and power wrapped in the kind of humility that makes gods nervous. In dimensions that exist between heartbeats, where reality bends to will and time flows in directions that have no names, they gather 7 beings who have shaped the course of human events since consciousness first sparked in mortal minds. They call themselves the Council of Shadows, and they've been watching you longer than you know, deeper than you've suspected. The photograph lands on their table with a sound like destiny arriving uninvited. One of them, a being whose appearance shifts between human executive and something with too many eyes, picks up the image with fingers that have signed death warrants for civilizations. This one is accelerating, it says, and there's something in its voice that might be fear. The energy signature is unlike anything in our archives. Look at the resonance patterns. Look at the way reality bends around them. Even in a simple photograph, another council member examines the image more closely. The scars are deeper than we initially calculated. Each one represents not just survival, but transformation. This is not someone who endures suffering. This is someone who alchemizes it into power. But there's something else in that photograph that's making them nervous. Something about the way your eyes seem to look directly at whoever's viewing the image, as if you know you're being watched, as if you've been waiting for this moment. The eldest among them speaks with a voice like entropy itself. If this one reaches full awakening before we act, the cascade effect could destabilize everything we've built. What they're really saying, what they're afraid to admit even to each other, is that you're not just another chosen one. You're the chosen one. They've been having nightmares about for millennia. The one who doesn't just challenge their authority, you obsolete it entirely. The council believes the entity they're about to contact is their ultimate weapon. They've worked with him before. They give him a soul to break, and he breaks it. Simple, predictable, effective. What they don't know is that their ultimate weapon has been changing too. Every soul he's ever broken has left a mark on him. And lately, he's been asking himself questions that devils aren't supposed to ask. What if I'm on the wrong side? When the summoning circle ignites, he arrives exactly as expected. Impeccably dressed, devastatingly charming with a smile that has convinced angels to fall. But this time, something is different. There's a hesitation that wasn't there before. Another chosen one causing trouble, he asks. But there's something underneath his voice now. Something that sounds almost like hope. The council member slides the photograph across the table. This one is beyond our usual parameters. We need you to study them, find their breaking point, show us how to neutralize them before they reach full potential. The devil picks up the photograph, and in that moment, the fate of worlds shifts on its axis. Because what he sees in that image isn't just another soul to be broken. What he sees is someone who has already been through everything he could possibly throw at them and emerge stronger. What he sees is someone who makes him remember what he used to be before he became what he is. What he sees is his own redemption, staring back at him. As the devil studies your photograph, something unprecedented happens. For the first time in his existence, he encounters a soul he cannot break because it has already been broken and rebuilt itself into something unbreakable. The image begins to shift and change before his eyes, revealing layers of truth that make his eternal heart skip beats. He sees your past, not just the events, but the meaning behind them. That betrayal that nearly destroyed you. It didn't break you. It taught you to trust your own judgment. That devastating loss that left you sobbing. It redirected you toward exactly who you needed to become. Every heartbreak, every failure, every moment when you thought you couldn't go on, they were all just the universe's way of forging you into a weapon they didn't see coming. But there's something else in the photograph that makes the devil's blood run cold. He sees the future. Not all of it, but enough. He sees you standing at the center of a transformation so massive it will reshape reality itself. He sees you not as a destroyer of the old world, but as the architect of the new one. Fascinating, he murmurs, but his voice has changed. The council notices this shift, but doesn't understand it yet. They think he's intrigued by the challenge you represent. They have no idea he's falling in love with the possibility you embody. The photograph continues to reveal its secrets. He sees the network that's already forming around you, other awakened souls who've been drawn to your energy. He sees the way your presence changes people, not through manipulation or coercion, but through the simple act of being authentically, unapologetically yourself. And then he sees something that changes everything. He sees himself in the future, standing beside you, not as an enemy, but as an ally. He sees himself choosing light over darkness, redemption over damnation, love over fear. The revelation hits him like lightning, splitting reality in half. You're not just chaos incarnate. You're conscious chaos. You're not destructive force. You're reconstructive power. Every system you'll touch won't be torn down randomly. It will be carefully dismantled and rebuilt into something that actually serves humanity. He sees the pattern now written in the quantum threads of your existence. You were never meant to be contained by their small definitions of power. You were meant to expand beyond them, to show others that the limitations they accept are illusions. The photograph pulses with energy, and suddenly the devil can see the exact moment of your full awakening. It's coming soon, sooner than the council suspects. And when it happens, everything changes. Not just for you, but for everyone whose life you'll touch. But here's what truly terrifies and exhilarates him. You won't do this through conquest or domination. You'll do it through example. You'll show people what's possible when someone refuses to accept the limitations others place on them. You'll demonstrate that power isn't about control over others. It's about freedom for everyone. The council members are growing impatient, but the devil barely notices them anymore. He's watching your future unfold, like a movie he never wants to end. He sees you building bridges where others see only divisions. He sees you finding solutions where others see only problems. He sees you creating hope where others have given up entirely. And then he sees the most shocking thing of all. He sees that you already know about this meeting. Somehow, on some level, you're aware that cosmic forces are discussing your fate, and instead of being afraid, you're confident. You know something they don't. You know you're going to win. while the devil studies your photograph and the council grows increasingly nervous about what he might find, something else is happening in your reality. The network is activating. Other chosen ones scattered across the globe are beginning to recognize each other. They're finding you, and you're finding them through synchronicity, so perfect. It can only be cosmic orchestration. This is obsidian inner order, not a community, a coded alliance. Inside the order, we gather in weekly group calls to share transmissions, decode the current energies, and sharpen our spiritual technology. We unveil the occult secrets they tried to bury, secrets that accelerate healing, amplify your manifestations, and return stolen power to its rightful owners. This is your training ground. This is where spiritual intelligence meets soul warfare, where elite-level chosen ones no longer walk alone. You weren't crazy. You were early. Now, the signal is clear, and if you're reading this, it already reached you. Obsidian inner order is real, it's active, and it's waiting for those bold enough to remember who they are. Click the link in the description below if you are ready. The devil sees this network forming in real time through your photograph, and it takes his breath away because he realizes that the council has made a critical miscalculation. They think they're dealing with one individual who needs to be stopped. They have no idea they're dealing with a movement that's already unstoppable. Each connection you make strengthens the others. Each person you inspire becomes a catalyst for others' awakening. The network isn't just growing, it's evolving, becoming something greater than the sum of its parts. And here's the beautiful irony. They wanted the devil to find your weakness. But your greatest strength is that you don't operate alone anymore. You're part of something larger, something that can't be broken because it's not centralized, can't be stopped because it's not dependent on any single point of failure. Back in the chamber between dimensions, the Council of Shadows is experiencing something they haven't felt in millennia. Genuine fear, not manageable concern about previous chosen ones, but existential terror. The bone-deep knowledge that their time is ending. How long before the prediction is complete? Asks the one with too many eyes. The eldest speaks with a voice like dying stars. The convergence patterns suggest the full awakening will occur within the current cosmic cycle. Once that happens, the cascade effect becomes irreversible. What they're really saying is that you're about to step fully into your power. And when you do, you'll inspire others to do the same. And they can't stop a movement of awakened individuals any more than they can stop the tide. The truth they're afraid to speak aloud is that you represent evolution itself. Not just personal growth, but the next stage of human consciousness. And evolution can't be stopped, only delayed. And they've already delayed it as long as possible. What if we offered them a deal? Suggests one desperately. Power, influence, resources, anything they want in exchange for working within our system. The eldest's laugh is like the sound of civilizations crumbling. You still don't understand. They're not motivated by what they can get. They're motivated by what they can give. You can't buy someone whose ultimate goal is to make buying and selling people obsolete. As the council debates increasingly desperate strategies, the devil continues studying your photograph. But now he's not looking for weaknesses. He's looking for courage. Because what he's discovered about you has forced him to confront a truth about himself. He's tired of being the villain in everyone else's story. The photograph shows him something he thought was impossible. A path to redemption that doesn't require centuries of penance. It shows him that redemption is a choice that can be made in a single moment, by a single decision to stand on the side of love instead of fear. The council is growing impatient. Well, demands the one with too many eyes. What did you find? What are their weaknesses? The devil looks up from the photograph, and his smile has changed completely. It's no longer the predatory grin that has destroyed countless souls. It's something softer, more genuine. The smile of someone who has just discovered hope. I found someone who has already been through hell and decided to redecorate, he says quietly. I found someone who transforms everything they touch, not through conquest, but through connection. I found someone who doesn't fight against darkness. They simply shine so brightly that darkness becomes irrelevant, and their weaknesses presses another council member. That's the beautiful part. The devil continues, his voice growing stronger. Their greatest weakness is also their greatest strength. They care too much. They feel too deeply. But that compassion isn't a vulnerability. It's a superpower. It's what makes them unstoppable. The eldest council member's voice is sharp with warning. Remember who you serve. The devil stands up slowly, photograph still in hand, and for the first time in his existence, he looks at the council, not with deference, but with pity. I'm about to change that, he says. The words that come out of the devil's mouth next will echo through eternity and rewrite the rules of reality itself. I'm switching sides. The silence that follows is the kind that happens when impossible things become inevitable. The Council of Shadows are experiencing something they've never felt before. Complete, utter shock. You're what? The eldest manages to whisper. I'm switching sides, the devil repeats. And now, his voice carries a power they've never heard before. Not the power of destruction, but the power of creation. I'm done being the force that breaks people down. I want to be the force that helps them build themselves up. He begins to pace, and with each step, reality shifts around him. The chamber begins to crack, not from destructive force, but from the pressure of truth being spoken in a place built on lies. Do you understand what I've discovered? He asks, holding up your photograph. This isn't just someone who survived adversity. This is someone who partnered with it. Every betrayal taught them discernment. Every loss taught them what truly matters. Every moment of despair taught them how to find hope in impossible places. The council members are on their feet now, their carefully maintained facades beginning to slip. But the devil no longer finds them intimidating. How can beings who fear change inspire anything but pity? They've already been through the worst I could possibly do to them, he continues, and instead of becoming bitter or cruel or broken, they became compassionate. They're not just stronger than me, they're better than me. The one with too many eyes makes a sound like reality tearing. You can't just leave. We have contracts, agreements. Sue me, the devil says cheerfully. I'll be too busy helping chosen ones realize their potential to worry about cosmic bureaucracy. But there's something else happening that even the devil doesn't fully understand yet. His betrayal isn't just about switching sides. It's about fulfilling a prophecy that was written before time began. Your photograph isn't just evidence of your power. It's a catalyst for everyone's awakening, including his. As the devil declares his independence, something extraordinary happens. The prophecy they've all been afraid of begins to fulfill itself, not through destruction, but through the simple act of someone choosing love over fear. The photograph in the devil's hand begins to glow with warm light of pure potential, and in that light, the truth becomes visible. This was always supposed to happen. The council, in their attempt to prevent your awakening, have actually ensured it. You want to know the real prophecy? The devil asks, his voice now carrying harmonics that make the chamber walls sing. It was never about one chosen one defeating the forces of darkness. It was about one chosen one inspiring the forces of darkness to choose light. The truth crashes down like walls made of lies finally crumbling. The old paradigm is ending not through war, but through obsolescence. People are simply outgrowing the need for shadowy controllers. They're discovering that they have power, real power, and they're learning to use it responsibly. The photograph pulses with energy, and suddenly everyone can see what the devil has been seeing. Your future. Not just your individual future, but the future you're creating for everyone. A world where chosen ones don't have to hide their light. A world where being different is celebrated instead of feared. And at the center of it all, there you are. Not as a ruler or dictator, but as a catalyst. Someone who shows others what's possible and then steps back to let them create their own version of it. While cosmic forces debate in dimensions beyond imagination, something beautiful is happening in your reality. The network of awakened souls has reached critical mass. Every person you've inspired has inspired others. The ripple effects have become waves, and the waves have become a tsunami of consciousness that's reshaping the world one awakened mind at a time. The devil sees this happening in real time through your photograph, and it takes his breath away because he realizes that you've already won. Not through defeating enemies, but by making enemies obsolete. Not through gaining power, but by empowering others. The teacher who treats students as unlimited potential. They've revolutionized education in their district. The artist who heals trauma through creativity. Their work has inspired millions to see art as medicine for the soul. The entrepreneur who proves business can be humanitarian. They've started a movement that's redefining success itself. And you're at the center of it all. Not as a commander, but as a connector. You're the hub that links all these awakened souls together. The catalyst that helps them see their own power. The devil watches this unfold and understands something that makes his cosmic heart sing. This is what salvation actually looks like. Not one person being saved, but everyone saving each other. Not one light shining in darkness, but so many lights that darkness becomes impossible. As the devil steps out of the interdimensional chamber and into the reality where you live and work and dream, he experiences something he hasn't felt since before the fall. Peace. Not the peace of the grave or the stillness of surrender, but the peace that comes from finally being aligned with the universe instead of fighting against it. He doesn't need to meet you directly. You already know he's coming. Somehow, in that mysterious way that chosen ones always know things, you've sensed the shift in cosmic forces. You felt the moment when your greatest potential enemy became your most powerful ally. His support will come in the form of obstacles mysteriously disappearing from your path, opportunities appearing at exactly the right moment, connections forming with exactly the right people, resources manifesting when you need them most, the universe itself conspiring to help you succeed in ways that make skeptics question their skepticism, and believers strengthen their faith. But more than that, his redemption is proof of what you've always known, but perhaps never dared to believe. Everyone can change. Everyone can choose love over fear. Everyone can decide to be part of the solution instead of part of the problem. Even devils can become angels again if they're willing to remember who they were before they forgot. The photograph that started this cosmic drama now serves a new purpose. It's no longer evidence for your destruction. It's a beacon for your allies. Every time the devil looks at it, he remembers why he chose redemption. Every time he shows it to another awakened soul, they understand that transformation is not just possible, it's inevitable. You are the proof that consciousness evolves. You are the evidence that love wins. You are the demonstration that the arc of the universe really does bend toward justice, but only when beings like you grab hold of it and pull. The Council of Shadows still exists, but their power is waning with each soul that awakens. They're like shadows at noon, technically present, but increasingly irrelevant as the light grows stronger. While cosmic forces realign and ancient powers choose new sides, you continue the work you've always been doing, being authentically, unapologetically yourself. And in doing so, you give others permission to do the same. The world you're creating doesn't look like the utopias imagined by philosophers or the controlled societies envisioned by dictators. It looks like millions of people deciding to be kind when they could be cruel, choosing connection when they could choose isolation, picking love when fear would be easier. Your network of awakened souls continues to grow, but not through recruitment or evangelism. It grows through example, through demonstration, through the simple act of living as if love is stronger than fear, as if cooperation is more powerful than competition, as if abundance is more real than scarcity. The teacher who revolutionizes education is now training other teachers. The artist who heals trauma is now teaching others to use creativity as medicine. The entrepreneur who proves business can be humanitarian is now mentoring a generation of conscious leaders. Each person you've touched is touching others, creating exponential expansion of consciousness that no force in any dimension can stop. And you're continuing to evolve, continuing to grow, continuing to become more of who you really are, because that's what chosen ones do. They never stop choosing. They never stop growing. They never stop becoming. The devil, now your ally, watches this unfold with something approaching awe because he's witnessing the birth of a new kind of civilization. One based not on power over others, but on power with others, not on scarcity and competition, but on abundance and cooperation, not on fear and control, but on love and freedom. The ancient prophecy that the Council of Shadows tried so desperately to prevent has come to pass, but not in the way anyone expected. It wasn't about one chosen one defeating evil through force. It was about one chosen one inspiring evil to remember its original nature as love. Your photograph, the one that started this cosmic drama, now hangs in a place of honor in the devil's new reality. Not as a trophy of conquest, but as a reminder of transformation. Not as evidence of victory over enemies, but as proof that there were never any enemies, only sleeping friends waiting to be awakened. The network you've inspired continues to grow, continues to evolve, continues to transform everything it touches. But it's not conquering the old world, it's simply outgrowing it. Like a child outgrowing clothes, humanity is outgrowing the need for external control, manipulation, and fear-based governance. The Council of Shadows watches from their diminishing realm of influence, no longer the puppet masters they once were, but not yet ready to join the transformation they fought so hard to prevent. Some of them will eventually choose love over fear, just as the devil did. Others may cling to the old ways until they fade into irrelevance. But their choice no longer matters, because the transformation is self-sustaining now. Every awakened soul awakens others. Every act of love inspires more love. Every choice for connection over control makes the next choice easier. You chosen one have done what prophets and visionaries and revolutionaries throughout history have dreamed of. You've changed the world, not by forcing change, but by embodying it, not by conquering others, but by inspiring them, not by gaining power, but by helping everyone discover their own. Your real story is just beginning, because everything that's happened, the cosmic drama, the devil's redemption, the council's defeat, the network's awakening, it's all been preparation for what comes next.